You know, your crazy uncle who has all these conspiracies about the government, or maybe you do, kind of like me, and you think they're absolutely corrupt. No matter how corrupt you think they are, it's worse. My humble opinion. One of the things I love about economics is no matter how much you virtue signal, no matter how much you want a green future, um, reality and economics are inextricably linked. You cannot virtue signal your way out of math. And that's what we're about to find out as a country. You can't wish your way out of math. Math is just what it is. It doesn't care about your opinion of it. So if you spend to oblivion, you bail out banks. Don't call it a bailout. That's another virtue signal, right? We're not going to call it a bailout. It is a bailout, but we're not going to call it a bailout. It's not a recession because we changed the definition. All that doesn't matter. It just doesn't when it comes down to math. So the day of reckoning is coming. The day of reckoning where math and reality sweeps over the nation and they realize, wait a second, we've been living in fantasy land. We can't just shut off our energy source. We can't just recruit people in the military and say, you're a horrible, no good white male. You're the scourge of this nation. And then try to bring them into the military and say, hey, thanks for serving this racist, no good country that we continually tell them. So, yes, this is coming to an end. But as the ship catches on fire, the rats scurry out. And the first rat to scurry out are normally politicians. They got to get theirs, right? And one of the things that is so egregious is the corruption with money and the corruption with fiat. Because they have this printer, which the printer, what it does is it doesn't make them accountable to math. It makes the citizens accountable to math. Because what the printer does is deflates or dilutes everyone else's labor. Meanwhile, the rich get richer. Poor get poorer. And the poor blame it on capitalism, and the elites go, yeah. It's capitalism's fault. If it was capitalism's fault, why was Silicon Valley Bank bailed out? Why? Well, let's take a look. California Governor Gavin Newsom failed to disclose Silicon Valley Bank ties while lobbying for bailout. What? You don't say. You don't say that a politician, he must have forgot. He's so busy, right? Eating out at the French Laundry while his subjects are locked away in their home. Their businesses are getting shut down. No. He totally forgot that he has millions of dollars with Silicon Valley Bank. As he calls the White House and says, hey, need a hookup here, bro. I've got a lot of money there. Business Insider reported that California Governor Gavin Newsom failed to disclose his ties with Silicon Valley Bank while lobbying for the bailout. Again, honest mistake. Everyone makes these mistakes. Moreover, the report states that Newsom maintained substantial personal ties to the now closed financial institution, aka he knew the CEO. He was intimately involved. It's not like you have a bank account at Wells Fargo or something. He's the governor of California, and they are located in California. Again, totally forgot, slipped his mind. Ken Klippenstein first reported the connection, noting that personal ties between Newsom and the now collapsed SVB. Additionally, a former employee with information on Newsom's financials stated he maintained personal accounts at SVB for years. For years. And then he lobbies the government for a bailout. And they're going to bail out Gavin Newsom. So now you have a sitting governor of a state who is set to lose money because this bank took undue risk. That sitting governor calls the federal government and asks for help for himself. We as citizens need to hold these people accountable. But if we don't, you know what will? Math. Because eventually as citizens will get mad enough that their quality of life keeps going down as the rats scurry off, as the building catches on fire, and all the politicians are grabbing anything they can on the way out. Insider notes a statement made by Newsom's office that said been in touch with the highest levels of leadership at the White House and the Treasury, specifically for the intent to help stabilize the entire innovation ecosystem that has served as a tentpole for our economy. Like I said, they're going to pull the national security card. Hey, if SVB goes down, as George Gammon said, the dog walking app won't have enough money. All these startups that need to fail, they need to fail. We have too much as it is. Okay. Schumpeter's creative destruction. Bad companies who don't do good risk management eventually have to sell to good companies who do good risk management. And if that is not the case, then more bad companies who don't have risk management come online because you don't need risk management because we have an infinite money printer. At least that's what they tell you. And again, if you're watching this, you're one of the 2% of people who is even paying attention. Ask your neighbor, ask your relatives. They don't, this stuff is foreign to them, which is, I don't think they have to be an economist, but they do need to know that there is risk in the system. And if the risk keeps getting mitigated, also known as diluted, spread around to dollar holders, they're going to be the ones holding the bag at the end. They're going to be the ones saying, wait a second, I don't have a 401k anymore. My retirement is paying me, but it buys me nothing. How did this happen? Ask yourself the same question about '08. How did no one see it coming? If you've seen, what is that movie? The Big Short. If you've seen The Big Short, you're sitting there wondering, I was just joining the military back then. I was pretty young. I wasn't really keen in on the financial system, but how did all these people ignore this? They're paid to ignore it. They're paid to ignore it. It's hard to convince somebody of something if they're making money by ignoring it. So people in charge make money by ignoring this problem. They stay in power by ignoring this problem. And you as a citizen who's watching this channel, you have an option, just like I do. I don't believe in the system of the dollar, the system of the corrupt politicians who are in charge of the dollar. I don't believe that they value my labor, because if they did, they wouldn't devalue it every single day. So when I get paid dollars, I buy things that aren't dollars. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, real estate. Further reading. Following the government's interference, Newsom praised the swift action, simultaneously issues relays to the lack of disclosure of his own connection to the bank, thus breaching California legislators, specifically banning the practice. And as we know, laws, they don't constrain the powerful, which is what they're for. Forever in time, it was the powerful who crushed the little guy, right? So, in a world of dog eat dog, who wins? The more powerful, the more elite, the more rich. And laws come about, and you're a nation of laws, not men. And so, if somebody more powerful than you is corrupt and breaking said laws, they're held accountable to the same standard as the little guy. Not today. Not today. They changed the rules. If a bank, if you go bankrupt, do you get a bailout? No. Oh wait, when banks went bankrupt, who got a bailout? Who got the PPP loans? So you see this disgusting behavior, and I ask you, do you think it's going to stop? I'm betting heavily. I'm long on it not stopping, because it can't stop, because it's a Ponzi scheme, and you cannot taper a Ponzi. And as these things start to break down, you get more and more politicians who are going to try to extricate as much value from the working class as they can. It's disgusting. It's wrong. And you can vote with your dollars. Get out of the system. Gold, silver, Bitcoin. Or stay in it and watch as your purchasing power goes down as Gavin Newsom's goes up. Because he's corrupt. Just like everybody else in Washington. Corrupt. Okay? It's money and power. That is the name of the game. And the other thing is, most people vote for it. Most people go, hey, don't cut my Social Security. Don't cut my Medicare. Gross. A little bit of a rant today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.